Did you ever thought you would leave everything? Did you ever step out of your comfort zone? Well, I want to bring you on a trip where I exactly did that.